welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. Shout out to our sponsors. We got first up, Defend Hawaii. If you go on their website, defendhawaii.com, forgot what you need. They have a bunch of apparel, gear, ready for back to school. Go to defendhawaii.com, use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Next up, we have iRep Detail Supply. If you go irepdetailsupply.com, figure out what you need. They have a bunch of soaps, waxes, anything you need to detail your car. Go to irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATPPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Last off, we have Hawaii Candy Factory. Go to hawaiicandyfactory.com. They have a whole bunch of local snacks, lihimui gummies, nerds, anything you might need for the munchies. Go to hawaiicandyfactory.com. Same thing, promo code ATPPOD upon checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Okay, so we're bringing back our catching up series. I'm catching up with one of our former guests who was on the podcast. So this week we're catching up with Sage Adams, former rapper or still rapper, but definitely entrepreneur. He has a whole bunch of new things being cooked up right now. I want to talk to him about it. What's up, Sage?
Hey, what's up, Thad? How you doing, my brother?
Good, brah. It's almost football season. Our Niners are looking pretty stacked, so I'm happy.
Yeah, we're looking super stacked. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that Niner on your desk. You know, that's always a good sign.
all day. Gotta keep it real.
Heck yeah. We're looking super good, man. I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, our third string is looking action.
Yeah, the quarterbacks look like they got action. Yeah. I hate preseason though. They give me false sense of security and hope. Fucks with my mind all the time. We'll see.
That's very true.
I'm gonna be able to go to our home opener against the Seahawks, who I hate.
So nice.
Hopefully we can mash them in front of everybody. That'll be cool.
We will. Well, that's Slaughterhouse, my man. We're rolling up to Seattle and we just fucking cooking birds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully that's what happens. So, man, what you been up to? I know you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. How's New Auto been?
New Auto's doing amazing, you know, and we're definitely on track to becoming pretty much the symbol of aloha and integrity, you know, and that's what we're in the industry for. Just trying to change that automotive industry and putting the care back into auto care. So in the last 3 years since we talked, right, it was the launch of New Auto and it was still a new company. Ever since then, it's been dope, man. We won awards, right? You were on the commercial.
Yeah. I was on 2 commercials. One was on TV. Yeah, famous now.
Yes, you are, bro. Thaddeus is a superstar. Everybody get Thaddeus's autograph. 100%.
Alrighty.
But so we've been doing New Auto's been doing really good, you know. Nicholas Gerard, he's a great leader for the team out there. And yeah, we've just been trying to improve every single year in what we do. And so we've been growing in employees. Which is a good thing because that's one thing in the automotive industry that we wanted to tackle. And that was like that was one of Nick's biggest things. Yeah. Like on our website, he puts a letter. He writes a letter on the About Us page. And his whole thing was he wanted to create a great environment for his employees. Right, for the technicians, because technicians, I mean, they're normally treated like slaves in a sense where, you know, hey, we need you to just wrench. Oh, and guess what? Wrench. You know what I mean? and that's it. And that's all they're used for. But these are human beings. You know what I mean? They have families to take care of, and they're also very brilliant human beings. You know, in a sense, they're mechanic engineers. You know, so. It's just making sure that we've been constantly working extremely hard on creating a great culture, within New Auto. And that's what we've been working on the last 3 years. And it's been working. You know, if you look at the reviews, man, I mean, we've been hitting we're a 5-star average. So the community and the people are voicing their vote for us. So it's been super exciting.
That's super dope. And from my interactions with the company and people who've been there, they get a sense of aloha, and it doesn't feel like you're out there to just kind of nitpick their cars and trying to make money off of them. You guys had a lot of aloha and positive feedback as how should you say, like a personality of the company, where it's welcoming, versus I've been to automotive places where they'll scan your card and try to find as much things as they can so they can sell you on parts and labor. And that's not the vibe at New Auto. And I know it's your company and all, but I do understand that it's a money. It needs to make money. And I feel like if you do things with integrity and aloha, it'll balance it out. And I feel like that's something different in that industry. And I mean, not to blow smoke up your ass, but that's kind of what's happened. And I know that was your kind of your business plan and model from the get, and it seems to be working out. And yeah, a lot of people are kind of checking you guys out, and you guys do put out good work.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And you're a customer, so you're a New Auto customer, and that's always good. It's always good to see you at the shop, you know. And it's also good to see you on our videos.
Yeah, it's been fun making commercials. Yeah.
Dad's been on 2 commercials. One was on TV, like he said, you know, and the other one was just pure comedy genius, right? And those videos, the videos, especially that was a comedy genius, was also produced by Hoppa Boy. So shout out to our homie Hoppa.
Yep, shout out to Hoppa Boy and his Hoppa Boy Productions. Bro, you ever seen him fly his drone, bro? He's a kamikaze with that thing, bro.
So yeah, the only time I've seen him drive the drone was when he did our Lani Kai shoot for Valentine's Day last year.
Yeah. You guys are hiking up the pillboxes, huh?
Yeah, but tell me, because you were telling me, right? You were telling me that you were telling me he does some crazy stuff. Could you share?
Yeah, I did a 1-year promo video for this podcast, and it's Above the Bridge. So obviously we went to the bridge to film some stuff, and he was flying under it, over it, around it, flying around the neighborhood, and like full speed kind. And it's like, I have a drone and I fly it like when anti, because I'm afraid that it's gonna hit something. Yeah. So it's like, he has no fear, bro. It's kind of cool to see. And yeah, I guess with trial and error, he's good with it. But yeah, he drives that thing like a kamikaze.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He just got a new drone too, he was saying.
So. Yeah. I told him I'll take that one when he buys a new one. He always got to upgrade, so I always get his hand-me-downs.
Hey, bro, drones aren't a bad hand-me-down though. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, that's
so dope. I want to touch on something real fast. Like, how's your rap career going? I know it might be on the back burner now because you're into so many other things, but what's your aspirations for that? And what's the next move for that? Or is just kind of waiting to the next one?
It's a toss up, you know. I do love music, you know. I still love music. I love hip hop. I like just creating, you know, just kind of like, that's like my happy place. Like, that's where I let a lot of ideas out, you know, and just kind of like my mind doesn't stop moving. So that, like, hip hop for me has always been a nice release, you know. But as far as the career, my son is still my biggest fan, you know. He listens to my album still. And what's cool is now he's also my biggest promoter. So at school, he's always telling the elementary kids, he's like, yo, you ever heard this rap song? You know, this rapper, his name's Sage Adam, you know, he's the best rapper out there. And so you got these, So that always makes me smile, you know. But for right now, my vision on music is I am going to create another album. It's going to be called Atom Bomb. Just to let y'all know that it'll be called Atom Bomb, and it'll be a little bit different than all of them. You know, it's not going to be clubby. It's not going to be um it's not gonna have the same vibe as Rage with Sage. It's gonna have definitely a very cool, chill vibe, you know. Um, yeah, so just dropping Atom Bomb. So that's kind of where that's at. But that's in all Hoku, my production, my engineer. Hoku's he just got a new studio too, which is super dope. So I know once I go in there, like the juices are just gonna be flowing. Yeah. So it's kind of up in the air right now, just because I have a lot of other things that I think hold precedence over the music. But will I be making music? I mean, I don't see me stopping, just because, like I said, it's a release for me, and it's something that I love doing. I love I love rapping. I love making music. I love that. It's my art.
For sure. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that come out, because I still have
Shit.
all your songs on my phone, and then when I hit shuffle, it pops up all the time. And yeah, my daughter likes
Heck
your
yeah.
music too, bro. It's kind of cool to. It's like, yeah, I know what I got. That's your Uncle Sage. You know what I mean?
That always brings a smile to my face, bro. It's
Yeah,
always like the coolest thing is like when the homies' kids like it, you
yeah.
know?
It was cool because
Like you've told me, go, go, go.
when you dropped your album, like Hoppa came out with a song, and then Big Mox dropped his album. So I got them all on iTunes, and then it shows your purchases, and I look, I'm like, oh, like all my friends did something at the same time, and it was kind of cool to see like how it
Heck
connected.
yeah.
It's always cool to see your friends doing cool shit. And for me, it's
Mhm.
always awesome. Like, you got to go get it on iTunes. Like that's like a legit. That's legit. You know what I mean? It's not like you're selling CDs by the swap meet. You know what I mean?
Like before, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Hey, bro, that was the best. Hey, so I know I said before when my album was at Jellies, I
Mm,
think I said that on the other podcast, like that, or the last time we talked. But like those are the moments, you know, when like we
yeah.
had to burn our own album, and then it was like, okay, let's get it into Jellies,
Yeah.
you know.
You
That
go
was the
Kinko's and run off a bunch of CD covers.
and then yeah, and then you screw up on all the graphic design because you measured it wrong, you know. So then it's like, oh, bro, this is it's not looking
Yeah.
that great, bro. We got to redo it again.
Trials and
Yeah.
tribulations, brah.
Trials and tribulations, bro. Yep, 100%. That's when I learned cost of goods.
Oh yeah. Avery labels ain't cheap, bruh.
No, it's not, you know. Every label ain't cheap, man. Those pennies count. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true though. You misalign them, especially those circle ones for the CDs. Oh, it set you back. Because it
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah.
running. You gotta stop it.
Yeah. And it runs like the three.
Yeah.
So it's like once one is off, they're all off, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Oh, that's back in the day, my man.
Hey man. Yeah. Ain't nobody
So
even uses.
so nobody does. Yeah. So I'm happy for iTunes then. To piggyback on what you said, hell yeah. It's super cool. It's super cool to say it's on iTunes. It's dope when I tell people this. Like when they look up the album and they're like, oh, I don't have iTunes. It's like, oh, that's Gucci. It's on Spotify. Oh, it's on
Yeah.
Tidal. Oh, it's on Amazon. Like it's all good. And they're like, wait, it's everywhere? I was like, yeah, it's legit.
Yeah. Same with my podcast. It's like, oh, I don't have an iPhone. Well, I got Spotify,
Yep.
Pandora, iHeartRadio. Like, it's everywhere. It's like,
Yep.
it makes it seem
Above the
more
bridge
legit.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. It seems more
Hell
legit.
yeah. Dude, you are legit though.
I
I
try to
mean,
be.
just even right, you are legit, you know. Not many people can say that they can run a consecutive anything for more than a year. you know?
Yeah.
And
This thing outlasted
yeah.
most of my girlfriends. Almost my marriage too at one point.
Oh shit.
This
Oh my
not
god.
good.
Hey, that's a good benchmark to weigh it against.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
my
Like,
podcast lasted longer than my marriage.
hey, that must be a great podcast.
Guess so.
Because you didn't say I do to many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, but it's like, it's like any business, and like you lasted over a year. You lasted more than most of your girl
Yeah.
relationships, right?
Yep.
Lasted more than your marriage. Like that's a lot to say, and like just say like any business, anything that anybody tries to do is like there's like 15 to 25 million companies, right? And then the crazy thing is with all those companies, you have like 15 million that start every year, and then half of those companies are fucking, oh sorry for my language, but you have 15 million companies starting every year, and then half of those companies don't even make it past the first year, you know and these guys have great visions, you know what I mean? And the problem is that they just don't have the know-how. They just don't know how to leap over that hurdle. And the unfortunate thing is, there's many hurdles, but that hurdle at the end isn't really big. It's just there's just little hurdles, you know. And the fact that you've been able to create a very, very influential and amazing podcast and keep it running to where, I mean, we're on a different series.
Yeah.
This isn't like, hey, Above the Bridge is here. It's more like, hey, we're catching up because we've been here. Now we're
Yeah.
catching up. Like, that's cool, man. So
I
props to
appreciate
you,
it,
bro.
bro. I appreciate it. And I think I said on the first podcast, when I had this idea in my head, I talked to you about it a lot, and Hoppa, and between the both of you guys inspired me to pull the trigger and got me motivated. And I'll always be appreciative for that. And it's partly because of you guys that I actually had enough, for lack of a better word, balls to put it out there. I mean, putting myself out there by myself was something different, so it was cool. It was definitely appreciative of your guys' input, and we're still going,
Hey,
so
man.
that's awesome. But
Hell yeah. Hey, bro. What do you tell me, man? What do you tell me? A
yeah,
rising tide floats all boats, my brother.
that's what's up. Speaking of which, we've been very much in communications because of what you got going on and the next chapter of your business career. And that's what I wanted to touch base on more this episode, because your ideas are innovative, and I feel like it's reaching out, or will reach out, to help people and kind of change up society, which is kind of not selfish, it's very giving. So what you got cooking right now, bro? What's going on?
Oh, so, well, we got beef stew cooking. That's what we got. We got a bunch of stuff cooking, and chicken and seafood stew. Like, we got a lot of stuff cooking. So I mean, yeah. So my purpose, my thing that's kind of always been motivating me is to try and pretty much achieve the impossible, right? Like, I've been in movies, I've acted, I've modeled, I've done albums that we've talked about. I've owned my own company. I've worked for many people. I've traveled places that a lot of people can't go, or from Hawaii, it seems like you can't go, but it's really just across the ocean. So I've achieved a lot of cool things, and it's always been to achieve the impossible. So like my whole purpose in life has always tried to be to, like, how can I inspire and empower others to do the same, you know? And so with that being said, is, I've always been trying to figure out, like, well, how can I achieve the impossible? And by doing so, how can I help other people do the same? And to clarify it, I gained a lot of clarity in these past couple of years of just defining really what my purpose is. And my purpose is very clear, and which is what's sparking all these other things I'm doing, which is why music is kind of on the back burner for now. Is because my purpose is really to eradicate poverty by creating better circumstances and expanding opportunities for individuals and businesses to become more successful with integrity, right? And I use my life experiences and success to pretty much try and inspire and empower individuals and other people to achieve the impossible. And that's really what my purpose and goal is. So with that being said is poverty to me starts with mindset, right? Poverty to me is also opportunities, you know, and I grew up in poverty, like financially and mentally. You know, I grew up hated from the day I was born. I grew up with my grandparents telling me that by the time I turn 18, I'll be dead or in jail. You know, I grew up with gangs and drug dealers, and those guys, they have, I mean, I'll say it because I've been a part of it, but they also have, it's a negative mindset. It's a very selfish mindset, which is a poverty mindset. It's because when you, it's like life, right? Like I want to live forever. And I've heard this before. Like when you want to try and live forever, it's a scarcity mindset. Like check that out. Like I want to live for as long as possible and forever. Why? Is it because you're scared of death? You know, is it because is it because of you're scared of living the fullest today? You know? And so it's like even something that's such a common ambition or aspiration of trying to live as long as possible is a scarcity mindset, right? And so for me, it's like, okay, that's a poverty mindset. All right, so we need to change that. So how do I do so? Well, I've been trying to find ways to inspire people, right? Inspiring them and finding a network of people like you've inspired me a lot, you know, and a rising tide floats all boats has been a mantra that I've literally been that's on my heart, and I've used that, like, you know, and to the point where there's something big going on with that too that I can't mention right now. But even with that, that sparked something because it inspired me. Like you inspired me, you know what I mean? With that, like inspired that unselfish, like we can be the tide, but we don't need to be the only boat. We can have all the boats. You know, I want to be on a yacht. Don't you? Well, let's get on a boat, you know, let's be the tide to rise that yacht, you know, and so that's the mindset. And then there's the opportunities. So the opportunities is why I think is why I know I've been blessed. You know, and I give all praise to God on why I've been blessed with everything that I have. And also this purpose, I believe, is because the opportunity part now is that because I'm an entrepreneur, or because I have what people would say, you know, the ability to solve problems, because I have that, I'm able to then create opportunities, you know, and I can create tools and resources for people to actually become successful, or to at least bring their ideas to reality and wake them up and they can live out their dreams, you know, and these are opportunities that I've been trying. So like with New Auto, perfect example is I pair up with a guy who's a master mechanic, brilliant at what he does, you know, and he wants to help his employees because he was a technician for these big corporate companies. So he's this technician, this master tech with these big companies, and he's seen the negative impact that it had on him and his peers, right? And the shadiness and all of that, like the lack of integrity, all those things. So he was just like, can I create a better work environment? That's all he wanted to do at New Auto. You know, it was like, how can I create a better work environment? And so by teaming up with him at New Auto, which is why I say, like, we want to try and be the symbol of aloha and integrity, right? So that right there is, one is we create a culture where everybody in there has a good mindset. You know, it's like nothing's impossible. We can fix it. We can solve any diagnostic issue. And that's what New Auto is, right? But then the opportunity part too that New Auto does is we offer an opportunity as we grow so does our employees. You know, as we grow and we open or scale, our employees have the first opportunities to become franchisees, you know?
Oh wow.
So yeah. So that's a huge thing, right? Is how do we create a millionaire tech? You know, I want to try and create a millionaire mechanic, you know, and that's something that's super exciting. And that's just one industry. That's automotive, you know. So then it's like, okay, cool. So how can I help everybody? You know what I mean? Like
Well,
how can I help more
wait,
people? Oh,
wait, real
go. Sorry.
fast before you get into how to help everybody else. I want to know how you change your own personal poverty mindset. Like, how did you
Mm,
stop that way of thinking and then switch it around? Because that's where it starts, bro. It doesn't move unless you change your own mindset, and that's the root. So I kind of
exactly.
want to understand how you did that.
Okay. Well, super easy. Nah, it's not easy. It really isn't easy. If it was easy, I'd have a quick 1-2 step plan. So I believe that, well, I'll just share my story. You know, I'm not gonna share anything else. So I'll start out, I'll explain two things. I'll explain a brief of what I've done to help change the mindset. And then I'll share the story of when like my picture was clear. And then I'll also share what I do every day to keep me performing at the highest level possible for me to achieve these audacious goals. So we'll start off with the first one. So to get over the mindset, I guess for some reason I've always been very confident, or maybe it was a hidden, you know, maybe I was acting confident because I was really hiding behind that. Yeah. So what I did though is there was a time in my life, especially in New Auto and building New Auto, there was a time where there was a lot of, the words would be discord or just very I was like I allowed emotions, relationships and friendships strangle me. And while that was happening, I needed to find a way to breathe. I needed to find a gasp of air, or I needed to take everybody with me. And so at that moment in life, we have a decision to make, right? And that decision is, well, do I go this route and just take everyone with me and, you know, F the world and go that route on everybody's against me? I'm not enough. I'm not loved. Or do I change and do a paradigm shift in my mindset and I go, well, maybe I can look at it from a different view, right? These events these events happen, but it's the story that I decide on. So I can decide on what story this event tells me. Now, it could either bring me down and it could be choking me, or maybe it's actually strengthening me. And maybe now that I'm in this choke, like in jujitsu, I can learn how to counter that choke. I can learn how to get out of that choke. And what happens is that then that spawns wisdom. Because then what happens is now I have that choke, it spawns wisdom, and then it spawns a principle. And then a principle is something I can live by, because a principle is a proven and tested um it's a tested sum to something that happened, right? It's something that was able to get through the mud, right? This principle it helped me get through the mud. And so I took that and I went to, okay, I need to be a better person. Maybe the way I'm seeing this chokehold is wrong. So I went into I guess it's kind of like an incubator in 2020, 2021. I went into this incubator where I tried to absorb so much self growth and knowledge. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna flood my head with knowledge. And what happened was that knowledge, it was so much. So then I was like trying to control my mind and etc. And you know, I was doing all of these things. And the biggest thing out of me, and I'm mentioning things like what everybody can do, right? What happens is, oh, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try that, I'm gonna try this. And what happens is we overwhelm ourselves with things to try and help us. And in all honesty, I mentioned that whole long story to bring it to a quickie. It was really me finding my faith again. It was really me turning around and finding God. And it was really me just trusting in him that, bro, I've tried all of these things. I've lived 30 plus years in chaos. And I've seen glory and I've seen darkness. I've seen light. And I think that I'm so intelligent that I can solve this problem. And I can't. So I went and through prayer and meditation, I went through this one session where it was like, okay, I need to let go. And I let go. And that at that time when I let go, I seen this image in the clouds, like you see on your screen right now. And this image in the clouds, and it said King of the World. And King of the World was something that anybody strives for. It's something that, hey, man, you guys, my grandparents and family said I'd be dead or in jail by 18 because of the life I lived. So for me, it was like, well, if I'm king of the world, then I ain't going to be dead or in jail by the time I'm 18. But what happened was when I seen that, instantly, I'm talking instantly, it was as if it was vapor. It just vaporized. And what happened was there was a new word that popped up and it said help and serve. It said help and serve the people. And I mean, in all honesty, I'm getting goose, but it's real because to me at that moment in life, it became not about Sage, but it became about everybody else. And once that happens, what can hurt you? Nothing. How are you gonna hurt me? How are you gonna ruin this fortress? How are you gonna break my fortress down? You can't, because it's no longer about me. Because you can hurt me, you can tease me, you can say doubt me, you can say that I'm crazy. You can do all of that. But at the end of the day, I know that every moment I wake up, I have a purpose, and that's to help and serve. And so every morning I wake up, I know what I have to do in life, and that's to help and serve. That's to inspire and empower. And so that was the long story, but it was simple. That whole thing was that I had to let go, and I had to just trust in something bigger than myself. And the only thing that I know is light of the world, and the most positive thing in the world there's no negative in it. It's just all positive and love. Well, to me, it's my Lord and Savior. So that's where I gained that mindset power from. Yeah. And then if you don't mind though, I will share what I do every single day. I will share what I do every single day to keep me grounded, to keep me at a positive high, and to keep me performing at my highest capabilities every single day. Is that cool?
Yeah, I want to
share
know
that?
for sure.
Okay. So what I do is I call it my wake and bake. And the reason I call it my wake and bake is that I do it right when I wake up. And the next thing is, the reason I call it my bake is because what you do when you bake is you bake from the inside out. And so I call it my wake and bake because as soon as I wake up, I instantly go into baking from the inside out, right? So what I do is the first thing I do as soon as I wake up, the first words out of my mouth when my eyes open is thank you. Thank you for. And I find some type of gratitude. So I do thank you for the breath. Thank you for life. Thank you for this bed. Thank you for AC. Thank you that I'm up. Thank you for anything. It doesn't have to be some crazy grand gift that you're thankful for. It could be anything. But I just say thank you. So I say thank you for this. And then the next thing I do after I have my gratitude is I wake up, I gotta, wash my face and etc. So I start to pray. So I say my prayer, and I talk to my source, right? I talk to God and I say my prayer. And then while I say my prayer, I'm kind of washed up. I then go into some affirmations, right? About and I could do an affirmation like I'll do one like I'm easily improving my life, or not improving my life. Sorry, that's not one. What could be one? me see. I say them every day. Or it could say like, I face each day with a positive attitude and an abundant mindset, which empowers me to truly believe that anything is possible. That's an affirmation that I use, right? Another one is I could use like for money, right? A lot of people want to say money affirmations, which is fine. You could say that you're profitable with every investment. For every investment I make is profitable, right? Or large sums of money come to me quickly and easily for the greater good for anyone concerned. Like, so I'll say some of these affirmations, right? And just kind of like speaking to the subconscious, because our mind is like Aladdin, and our body and our subconscious, think of it as the genie. Our mind tells the genie what we wish for. So I kind of throw that out into the world, right? So then right now we have gratitude, prayer, and then affirmation. As soon as I'm done with all of that, it kind of sets me into a sense of meditation. And meditation is extremely, extremely, to me, it's very important, because I believe that we're so on the go, 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 and our minds think of what's next or what's happened. It's very rare that we're present. And meditation has a lot of health benefits. So meditation has a lot of health benefits like cognitive learning, right? It has stress relief, right? And some say that it's the combatant to your saboteur, right? And your saboteur is something that sabotages you, right? So it's the combatant to the judge, you know. And so there's these health benefits mentally and also physically. Like, you know, they say you line up your chakra and everything. Like, there's health benefits to it all. And I think a great health benefit is the breathing. So what I do, and I've learned this, I believe his name is Alan Watkins, is Watson. But I learned this from him, and it was breathe, right? And what it stood for was breathe rhythmically, evenly. Ooh, breathe rhythmically, evenly, all through the heart every day, right? And so what he talks about is you breathe evenly and you stay in this very coherent state. So what's cool about the meditation is I'll get into this meditation, I'll breathe in, I'll breathe out, I'll just kind of focus on my breath, and then I'll focus. As I'm focusing on my breath, I keep the same rhythm. And then as I keep the same rhythm, I then go into I start to kind of say like this mantra sometimes, and it puts me into this what is kind of like a theta state, right? And it gets me into this theta state where I'm just very in tuned with what is present. And it helps when you have birds chirping and the wind going, you know. So after meditation, I do that for a minimum of 10 minutes,
Oh wow.
or 20. I recommend 20 minutes for meditation. So then after that, that normally takes about 30 minutes to an
You
hour. It
you
can,
gotta
depending
you
on your
gotta
meditation.
you gotta teach me how to meditate because I've
I
tried it
will. Uh-huh.
and my brain is so loud that I'll either fall asleep or I'll just focus on shit I have to do or stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
gotta like I cannot clear my mind. Like even when I sleep, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
watch TV until I fall asleep because if
Mm-hmm.
I'm just turn off the TV and lay in bed, like I'm gonna stay up all night just thinking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that is a skill that I need to learn. We'll
Okay.
talk one day because
We'll talk about it.
I definitely want to
Yeah.
learn how to do that. Yeah.
Well, let me okay. So I'll share. Let me finish up the last two, and then I'll
Yeah.
actually share like what I did, because I haven't like I said, my brain doesn't stop. You know, like if you tell me, Sage, let's try and do this, I might have to say, wait, can we wait a week? Because I need to get everything out of here right now because I'm working on all of this stuff. So like for me to focus on that, it would consume me, right? Because I focus that heavy. So I understand um not able to control your thoughts while you meditate. So we'll come
Yeah.
back to that. So then I meditate, and after meditation, as I put on my clothes and stuff, I'm getting ready to work out. And what I do is these headphones right here, I pop these bad boys in and I put on a book. So I'll put on a book. I can put on a motivational speech, or I put on an Audible. So normally I put on a book or a podcast, constantly learning, and then I stretch out and I go work out. And when I work out, I don't listen to music necessarily. I actually listen to podcasts or audibles, because for me is by working out, I'm then now strengthening my mental health as well as my physical health. And knowing that if you work out, your brain actually needs the oxygen that your brain consumes the oxygen, and it actually increases your cognitive ability and your creative state. So I do all of these things, and then at the very end of my workout, I shower, and then I do what I call a residue release, and I walk around with some gamma music on or whatever, and I release these thoughts. And then within 2 hours of all of that, working out, everything, my mind, body, soul, and spirit have all been helped. They've all been nourished. They've all been pre-gamed. They're all ready to go. So if I wake up at 4, by 6 o'clock out of the shower, I'm at my highest peak at 6 in the morning, and I'm ready to go. So that's what I call my wake and bake. That's what I call my wake and bake. And that's what I do. I've been doing that for the last 2.5, 3 years. And I mean, we're going to talk about what I've been able to accomplish and working on since then. So yeah, that's the wake and bake. Let me go real quick on your mind after though.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I understand starting your day off good can reflect throughout your whole day, and that's always important. Oh, you get up at 4 every morning. That's insane.
Yeah. They say it's the billionaire hour, man. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to hit that Billy. But real quick on the mind, that if you don't mind. So like I said, like I did the same, and that's kind of why that's where I was at when I had to realize I had to let go. Cause I'm over there, bro, and I'm trying to meditate. And then I have all these thoughts, and then I get frustrated because it's like, man, I keep thinking about these thoughts and I'm not meditating. So then I tried to meditate and I tried to write stuff down, and it wasn't working. And then I found out what meditation really is. And meditation is allowing your thoughts to just happen. Just let it come. You can't stop it, right?
Yeah.
You can't stop your thoughts. So just let it happen. And what I do is when the thoughts come, I let it come. You know, I'll be like, oh, wow, okay. I missed Thad. I'm going to call Thad today, and I think that thought, and then I'll be like, oh, focus on my breath. So then I'll just focus on my breath. And dude, you're going to find that every time you just focus, like breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you start focusing on the breath going into your nostrils and through your lungs, bro, that thought, you're going to trip. That thought is gone. Like boom, like that plane flying behind me, that plane, boop, gone, right? And then another thought might come, because we have like 50,000 thoughts. It's just focus. It's allowing it. So the next time you try to meditate, don't try to fight the thoughts. Allow the thoughts. So
and
allow
then
the
focus on your breath.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. Because your breath, without that, you're not. There's no thought. You're dead. So if you focus on what's actually giving you life, that might be the way to go. If you think about it that way. I'll try it out, bro. I'll let you know.
Let me know, my brother. And hey, man.
I always wanted to meditate. I tried it a bunch of times. I put on weird music and sat in the yard. It's just, brah. It's just my brain just, I'll conk out, or my brain will just try
download Headspace.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah, so that was one thing I started, and it helped me, because he'll tell you. He said, "Hey, let your thoughts come through," and it's like silent, and then he'll kind of guide you. So like guided meditation, and then he'll be like, bring your focus back to your breath, and then it's like you do, it's like, oh, that works.
So it's like you're addressing your thought, accepting it, letting it go, versus like trying to cram it out of your head. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
That's cool.
that's how you get your day started, bro. What kind of projects you've been working on since the last time? One thing I did notice is that your demeanor and your conversations and your attitude from the last year has changed drastically, just as a friend point of view. You're more
Mm.
focused on giving versus I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm gonna figure this business out so I can get rich. It's more like I'm gonna try and help you guys by the businesses I create. And it is more focused outward versus inward. And I
Mhm.
notice that, and your glow changed. Like you seem a lot more happier, you seem more refreshed and driven, like driven with a purpose. And it seems like your purpose is outward versus you trying to make money for your own self. It's noticeable.
Oh my kai Ike cool.
Alrighty.
I'll throw that out there, you know. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot to me, you know. That's cool. Thank you. Thank
Not
you.
saying
Thank
you're
you.
like a
Yeah.
selfish person. It just seemed like
Ah,
you're more thinking about outside of your circle, because you're always giving
mm,
to your friends and your close circle, but it
yeah.
seemed like you're trying to reach out for people outside of that circle and in general.
Uh no, that's why I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I like I said, I believe it came when my purpose was clarified, you know. So I appreciate that. That just means that it's because you know it's like when you look at the mirror and you know and you keep getting fatter and you never think you're getting fatter because it's like I see myself every day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm very grateful for what you just said too. So that's cool. That's super cool. So I appreciate that. So but working okay. So what I'm currently working on right now is we're currently working on expanding New Auto, right? And we're definitely focusing on the expansion and the growth of New Auto in Honolulu and hopefully across the nation. And then another thing that I've been working on, which I think is, but there's a bunch. So I'm gonna spell it off for you.
Yeah.
So the things that I've been working on is, well, one is I'm a brand expert, right? So I'm a marketing expert, you know, a small business expert. So I've been working, my whole thing is I've been trying to work on a company that can help. Well, first it started off like, what company can I create that can help all my companies? Because I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own more than one business. So I was like, what company can I do to help all of them? And it's always come down to like a marketing and a business solutions type of company, right? So I've been working night and day on this because I've been working with it in New Auto. Like New Auto's marketing has been pretty good. Like I said, we've won awards. People know us. We started in a pandemic. You know, 2 weeks before the world crashed, New Auto started.
That's true.
You know, so for us to have a name that one is very hard to pronounce, to create a brand out of that, to win awards that were People Choice Awards, and then to win a national award is you know, it speaks to, I guess, the marketing and the lessons that I've learned, right? So I take those lessons and it's like, okay, I was able to create a zero to hero, a 0 to 1 type of business. Now that means that I kind of have a great idea on how to do that for many businesses. Now, this isn't the only business I've had. I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years. As of today, I've had a total of about 13 companies that I've had under my belt that I've tried to work on. You know, and the ones that have failed were my best lessons. So I count those as my universities. And they were my greatest lessons. And so with that being said, is you have New Auto, right? And then this marketing. So then I was working on this marketing company. And you know what helped me steamroll this company was actually partnering up and partnering and having the help of my assistant. So my assistant was a great brainstorm. She was great to be in this incubator that we have, right? We have this like awesome brainstorming incubator, and she helps me she allows me to let my visions and my creativity flow, because she's able to then help me do 20 to 30% of the work that I normally would do. So, note to self, note to all entrepreneurs, find a way to delegate and find you an amazing assistant, because it will get you far.
Gotta get
And
one of those,
so,
man.
yes, and I would love to introduce her. And I would actually love to introduce her and let her talk about what we are doing, because I think
Okay.
that'll be cool. Is that okay with you, Thad?
Yeah, let's do
Because
it.
she's on the phone, so I think it'd be cool, because I was talking a lot, but sometimes it's cooler when somebody else talks for you, and so Malia is my jam. This is Malia Bradbury right here. She's my executive assistant, my longtime friend. And she's an amazing human being. So I hope that she's ready to get thrown on the bus, or thrown
Right
under the
on.
bus. Let's go.
All
Welcome to
right.
Above the Bridge podcast. We just throw people under the
Welcome.
bridge.
So, yes, as he said, yes, I am his assistant. I am. Let's get it. In between us. Can you hear me now? Don't make me start singing
Yes.
Alicia Keys.
No, we can hear you. You're
Okay, cool.
there you
There
go.
we go.
There she
Okay, I'm
is.
like, because I really ain't trying to sing.
It's okay. You're lagging
okay.
right now,
So,
but
yeah.
that's okay.
Oh, Mr. Roboto.
No, you're good.
So cool.
if you could share a little bit of well, Thaddeus asked what we're doing and what we've been up to lately. So if we can start from, I started off with that, and then just share kind of what we're trying to do in the next year with everything. Start off with the
All right.
soft. Yep.
White label.
No,
So we were we were started with a marketing agency. That was the idea. We ended up then developing and partnering a new idea. We took what was just going to be marketing to help small businesses, and we turned it into it's a software development IT company that also does marketing and business solutions. So it's really your one-stop shop type of, whether if you're a small business, an entrepreneur, or a big corporation. We actually partnered then, like lots of things happening daily, all the time. We then partnered with a power team who we're going to be, Sage will be traveling with and speaking to across the nation, being able to introduce not just his products or himself, but really taking the opportunity to grow, network, and build like with his, and bring it back to Hawaii. He's hosting his own little event later this month, next week, actually. Later this month already, it's next week. But it's really like when we saw and met this team, we're like, that's cool. And like I said, I'm in LA. I'm from Mililani. And I never was going to leave the island. I was very successful just where I was. But there is so much opportunities out here, which is why I raise my children out here and won't go home till they graduate. But there is so much that we can bring back to Honolulu because there's so much talent. There's so much gifts, and there's so much that we can give the world and make, success come to Hawaii. And, Hawaii we don't have to always go to the mainland. I think like, we're stuck on this island. Like, what are you talking about? We are global, national. We can do whatever your mind is ready to bring on or to give up,
Yep.
So yeah, so we are bridging the gap between here and the mainland. Really trying to
Awesome.
give every opportunity of speakers and networking and growth and just potential to meet people that are outside of your diversity, because that's how we grow. You know, we
That's
learn
how
from
we
others.
grow. Yes, we do, right?
Yeah.
And it all comes on the premise that we're doing this because what better place to try and float all boats than a place surrounded by water, you know, and um you know, and it's cool because everybody says, "Oh, I'm just a kid from the Rock," you know. And but the Rock, like our island, I mean, I'm so amazed. Like I think you're probably one of the best live and club promoters in the world, you know, and you're from the Rock, you know, and we got your friends, we got Hoppa Boy Productions. He's amazing. He's probably he's definitely the best DJ that I know, and
Oh
he's from
yeah.
the Rock. You know
Yep.
what I mean? We got Max Holloway. We got all this great talent, and I'll just say these are the guys that made it. You know, but the thing is, where does Max fight? He fights on the mainland. Where's Hoppa Boy's biggest production? It's in Singapore. It's on the mainland. It's in
Yeah.
Dubai. It's in Vegas, right? Where are the biggest clubs to promote? You're the best in the world in my eyes. It's in the mainland though, right? So it's kind of like that's what has held us back. But what I'm trying to do is creating more and expanding opportunities for people is I'm trying to bring that ocean and I'm just trying to shrink this gap between us and the mainland. And so what Malia was talking about is throughout networking with these business venture capitalists or these business coaches or just these other opportunities that the mainland has that's just a drive away, I'm making them jump on a plane and fly to Hawaii often so that so that the local people of Hawaii can now have that connection. So pretty
Mm.
much what I'm trying to do is to connect the dots, right? I'm just connecting dots. And that's really, really what I've been working on. And for the next year will be how many dots can I connect? And that's what I'm trying to do. So every month I'll have a mastermind or a lunch where we can come in and you know, we can grow, we can learn about growth strategies, how to succeed and thrive in a changing economy, right? We can do a little masterminds, which I don't know if many exist in Hawaii, but I have one. And we can do a mastermind where you can actually get peers helping you from all kinds of different industries, you know, and these are ways that that not just having you buy my product, but
Yeah.
these are things that I'm trying to do and give to people is this is how we expand opportunity. We network with each other, we grow from each other, you know, we rise together. And that's really, really what I'm trying to do, Thad, is just try to find ways to connect the dots and rise together and have a great life and I mean enjoy, have happiness, have harmony, you know, envisioning a world with where everybody's living in harmony and experiencing their life's purpose to the fullest. Like those are things that are important to us. Like why do
Yeah.
we wake up? Why do we wake up? You know, for us, maybe. Why don't we
Why
wake up for somebody else?
I think because of the fact you found peace and harmony within yourself, this business concept is going to work because it
Mm.
started with yourself first and it worked on yourself, and now you can outreach it to other businesses and people. And when is this launching?
Well, so what is launching? The lunches and the breakfasts,
Yeah,
the
like
masterminds.
and your
Okay. So
marketing. Like say if I'm a company, I'm like, hey Sage, I want you to market my company. When are you ready to start doing that kind of stuff?
we
Right
are
now,
ready right
I'll
now.
get your contact.
Yeah.
I'll get your
Yeah.
contact info after this, Thaddeus. Yeah. We can help you out with some stuff. We'll do a
best
marketing
assistant
brief
in the
little.
game, I tell you that.
Let
Assisting the slam
me
dunks.
put it in the chat.
Yeah.
um so so for the company, we're doing Neti. It's neti1.com. That company will be live and launched in September. So
Oh,
it's to be
soon.
determined. Yeah, it's very soon. So it's to be determined on when it's publicly launched, but we already have clients that we've been working with. We've already been building case studies, so we know our product works and we know we're good at what we do.
Yeah.
Our team is really good. And so that company is really good. And that scales. Like I have offices for the marketing company from here to Dubai. So that one's cool because it's a software development company and with marketing and business solutions. Yeah. So we don't just do marketing though. We actually help your business be able to scale and grow or fix problems within your company. Because the whole purpose of the marketing company that we didn't touch on was that the purpose of the software development company with marketing and business solutions for Neti One is half of businesses do not reach its first year. They don't even pass it. They don't even get to see year two. And half of those companies that pass year one don't ever pass year three. They call it the entrepreneur curse, right? If you can't stay in business past 3 years, you're done, right?
Yeah.
So the company is to like help you get past these milestones and break through. And at that point, it's just it's just a snowball effect. And that's what Neti does is we connect you to the dots. So that company is launching in September. The mastermind breakfast, which we is our power team. So I teamed up with a power team, which my business coach is Bill Walsh. You can find his credentials at billwalsh360.com. And I share this transparently. You can cut it out though, Thad, if you want. It's up to you. But I share it transparently. But yeah, so we're launching a power team lunch and breakfast. And so that's actually starting on the 27th of August, which is pretty soon. By the time this airs, we would already have had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would have already had it, but please look on Eventbrite. Follow me at Sage Adam. I am Sage Adam on Instagram. We'll get our handles after, but I will be posting these mastermind breakfasts and lunch. The lunch is called Quantum Success Lunch, and that's you want to come to that one. Like you definitely want to come to the lunches. And it's normally at a country club, but I believe from September on, I'll have it at Maggiamos at the Navy Marine Base once a month. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And we'll put in all our information at the end when I lay out the connections. But yeah, so everything's launching extremely fast. The next thing that I'll be doing, which is exciting, is a podcast. So the next thing I'll be doing is a podcast,
and I'll
which is
definitely
inspired.
help you with that. Yeah, I'll definitely help you with that for
Yes.
sure. That's my
Thaddeus
goal
is
is
the
to get more people doing podcasts because I feel like you said it's the new thing that people are getting into. Like I don't like when I work out, I don't listen to music. I'm listening to podcasts. Because of your way to express your ideas and thoughts, I think it'll be super good. I think a lot of people would benefit from you having your own podcast and to be able to tap into your mind on a personal level. That's going to be cool. And I'm excited for that. Shoot, we've been going for an hour and I know you got some appointments. So let's see, where can people find you and your companies?
Okay. Well, you can find me and my companies at you can find us at New Auto, NEUEAUTO, mahalonewauto.com. You can find us at that repair shop there. You can find me at I am Sage Adam on Instagram or Sage Adam on Instagram. You can find me also at sageatom.com. So Sage, ATOM.com. And that's where you'll be able to check out everything that I'm up to. It'll all be at sageadam.com. Or you can text me at hero at 26786.
Oh, that's super cool. And when you have your podcast, I will officially make sure that it's on every single platform. So we'll do a launch for that for sure, man. That would be awesome. Your assistant, where
I can't wait to talk about you. I can't wait to have you just keep talking.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wait to just have you. Well, I don't know if they can find my assistant because she's mine and I don't want no one else to take her.
Raja, understand. Well, for us, you can always find us at Above the Bridge Podcast on Instagram. Our YouTube videos are all on YouTube, Above the Bridge Podcast. Our website is atbpod.com, as well as what else? My Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. So you can go check all of those out. Right, it's been awesome conversing with you and catching up. I always say when I call Sage, I gotta have some time because I know it's at least an hour conversation, if not more. And thanks, obviously, we could still be going. Like this could be a 3 hours. We could do a mini series, but I appreciate you taking your time out of your day, and I know you're busy, but yeah, hopefully our next catching up, we'll see how crazy you've taken this new venture, and yeah, we definitely will do that in a year or so. And yeah, excited, dope, man.
And thank you, brother. And it's a privilege being on your show.
Thank you, bro.
Always a big fan of everything that you do. So, hey, get on Thaddeus is Above the Bridge. Daddy, man, he's the man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Right on, brother. Well, shakas for the cameras.
Chee.
Right on, man. Well, that's a wrap. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.